I was up there at the old 75 Chrome shop yesterday, poking around, seeing who was on the lot, and came across this beautiful looking Freightliner right here. I happened to meet the gentleman and the young lady that was attending to it. So we had a little extra time today, so I figured I'd come out here and hang out with them on the road. So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
My name is Soucy. I'm 25, and this is Shanel Disneyland. She's 25 also.
Very cool. Now, where are you guys from?
I'm from Clear, New Brunswick, Canada, and she's from Tree River, Quebec.
Very nice. So you guys are doing some trailer trucking all the way down here to Florida. What'd you guys bring down here?
We all cedar shingles from Canada. That's all we all. So every 2 weeks we're south. So not always in Florida, but south in North Carolina.
All right, pretty cool. So how long have you been trucking?
I've been trucking since 18. Started for a company in Canada. Worked 3 years there, and that's how I started. But started with my dad and my grandfather. I'm the fourth generation rolling. My great-grandfather was driving too. So.
That's awesome to be the fourth generation trucker. We hear it's second generation, third generation, and rare to get a fourth generation. So that's pretty cool. What do you remember about your great grandfather and grandfather trucking wise?
I didn't know. I knew my great-grandfather, but my grandfather, I was always with him. I'm still always with him every weekend, and he taught me a lot of things, and my dad too. Since I was young, I was always with them. So,
tell us about the truck, the age, and everything else you got going for it, as far as like drivetrain and everything else.
2003 Freightliner Classic XL. Got a 550 cat in it with a 18 speed. I got 355 ratio. And my grandfather bought it new in 03. Parked it in 07. Then I rebuilt it in 21, and I started working. It's my fourth year with it.
How many miles do you have on it?
Around 3 million.
What type of transmission do you run there?
It's an 18 speed. I got another stick. It's only a splitter.
I love that the vintage look. You know, you really can't tell, because I looked at that twice and going like, man, maybe he's got a real set of boxes in here. What setup is that you run?
I built it myself. I know that First Aid sells it, but it was easy to build, so I built it myself. I didn't have any problems with it yet, so.
Maybe that's why it looks so custom and so original, because you did build it yourself, so you knew exactly. I would imagine you knew exactly what you wanted, the outcome to look like, as opposed to buying something off the shelf.
Yeah, that's it. I like it old school.
So in the 4 years that you've been driving, how many miles do you think you've put on yourself?
I don't know. Usually it's around 150 a year, 150 miles a year.
Also, in that length of time, what are some of the lessons that you've learned being out here on the road?
You need to be able to repair yourself and learn. I learned a lot with my father and my grandfather, so if there's something that happens or something, I call them, or if I don't know, they'll help me. But it's always have to figure out something to get yourself out of trouble or something.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt to know how to turn some wrenches and get yourself out of a jam. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting on the road for a bit, and you're going to have yourself a repair bill that you may not want to have. I tell you what, this little lady in this red car is trying to get in on your camera time here. So I'm going to hop around with some of the questions that I have. What was the best time in trucking for you?
Probably when I was like 10 years old, 11 years old, with my dad and my grandfather. It was different, but I still like it anyway, but it's different. It was cooler and more fun back in the days than now.
What type of person do you think it takes to do this type of job? You drive from Canada and you're all across the country. What does it take to do that?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of easy. I don't know. Always did that with my dad, and I don't find that like kind of hard. But you need to be independent. Like you got to trust yourself for doing it.
All right, so definitely independent. You can't be out here for weeks on end or days on end and not be self-reliant. So that's a really good point there. When you first started driving, what truck was it that you were driving in? What was that like for you?
Well, it was kind of hard starting with a nice truck for all the insurance and everything. When you ain't got no experience, well, like they say, the experience, but I started with ProStar, and I drove that 3 years, and it was alright. Did all kinds of things for the guy, and all kinds of load. It was fine. It was alright.
Then you stepped it up a notch. I'm going to fall behind you and pop back into the left lane.
Right?
So we talked a second ago about being able to work on your own truck and repair it and everything. What do you think the most useful thing to have on your truck would be with you at all times?
Well, I got all kinds of tools, electric drills and impacts. So with that, it's easier to work on stuff. If you break when you got it, it's easier. So you're quicker. You're quicker on the road if you break.
So electric drills, impacts, and this is not an endorsement, but Milwaukee has all sorts of attachments and things like that for making repairs, heavy duty repairs. So it doesn't take up a lot of space anymore, to have those things.
That's it, and it's all battery, so you don't need an extension cord or inverter just to run it. It's easier with batteries now.
So earlier we were talking about you being the fourth generation, and I would like to think that you pulled a lot of knowledge from your dad and grandfather, which you did mention that. For those guys that don't have those family members to rely on, what sort of educational resources do you think is out there now that guys could use to bring themselves up to speed on what's going on trucking wise?
Well, I think that older guys, and they drive, they know a lot. They've been through a lot, and they know a whole lot of things and stuff that happened to them. And I think it's the best way to go. It's if you got questions, it's the older guys that they know how to do it. So
yeah, so basically find some of those old hands and see if you can befriend them and learn a thing or two, or even if it's just maybe a quick conversation or at the truck stop or anywhere where a guy would have some time. You never know what these guys could share with us.
Yeah, that's right.
So going back to your truck and the things that you've done to it, what's your favorite thing on that truck that you've done to it?
I like the striping. It's from an old Freightliner paint scheme, so I like it.
Yeah, it definitely sets it off. And when I walked up to it yesterday, I looked at it and I'm like, why does this look new, but it's old at the same time? So you've kept it up really well. I mean, it just shows off really great.
Thank you.
What type of CB radio do you run?
It's a normal Cobra 19.
An out-of-the-box Cobra 19 will get the job done every single time. You know, I carry one as a spare, and it's, you know, those things have never let me down.
They're good CBs.
Now, up there in Canada, do you guys run around with CB handles or no?
Oh, not much, no. It used to, but not anymore. Well, people don't talk on CBs anymore, so.
Yeah, I hear you. We're gonna get this next exit right here. I'll fall in behind you going back up the ramp. I asked this question to the guys that have been out here for a long time trucking, and I'm not going to make any exceptions. I'll ask you as well. Have you had any regrets, you know, for the time that you've been out here trucking, as in, you know, the type of stuff you pull, the type of truck you run, or, you know, anything like that?
No, not at all. I like it. It's all I've known, so I've never wanted to do nothing else, so I like it.
All right, well, I hope everything continues to go just as good, you know, because sometimes you may second guess some things and say, all right, man, I need another career or something like that, but I'm glad trucking is doing good for you.
It's a family company, and my dad and my grandfather are still driving. My grandfather is 78 this summer, and he's still driving, so it's fun to work with them.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm glad that you shared that, that they're still out there on the road. Do they go far out, or do they stay around the house?
We do a lot of Boston, PA, and New Jersey, and North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida.
So what's the actual age of the company?
It's over 50 years. My grandfather, the place that we all from, Cedar Shingles, he's been all in there for almost over 50 years. So.
That's cool. So with the company being over 50 years old, and you got your dad and your grandfather trucking, describe the support system, you know, that you have within the company.
Well, it's my grandma that runs the office and the dispatch and everything, so she knows what she's doing. She's been doing life for 50 years now, so she's pretty good at it. She's always finding a way to for the loads to make sure that everything is delivered and everything.
How many trucks do you guys run?
Only 3. Me, my dad, and my grandfather, but we got a couple more, but we're only 3 now.
When people talk about a family-run business, I mean, this is like family. You know, that's cool. So here's an oddball question I'm going to throw at you. You might take a second to think about it. But what is your claim to fame? What do people know you for?
I'm calm, and I'm just going with the flow. try to keep my truck clean as always. It's kind of hard in Canada, but I'm trying.
All right, so people know you for being cool and on your stool there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Speaking of keeping your truck clean in Canada, what are some of the processes that you use to keep that thing up? Because when I took a look at it yesterday, I walked all the way around it. Man, it looks like a Florida truck.
It's hard. Wash it every week, or you don't leave it inside the shop dirty and all the salt on it. Polished it 3 times this winter,
So I'm going to circle back to that claim to fame question, because your friends and your family are going to watch this video at some point, and they're going to say, hey, well, we know him because he's this or he's that. So outside of trucking, are you playing instruments? Are you racing? Are you doing backflips somewhere? What do people know you for outside of trucking?
Well, I rebuild trucks. I rebuild that truck, and right now we're rebuilding a truck for my grandfather. So that's what I like to do. All customized and stuff.
All right, so we know you for building cool stuff. So tell me about whose bumper and visor and stacks you have, if those are any custom aftermarket parts there.
The bumper is Valley Chrome, the pipes Lincoln, and I got Udgeville fenders, and I got a homemade bracket for them, and all in stainless, and it's pretty much simple as it is, like straight pipes in the mufflers.
All right, and how many lights you run on the truck, roughly?
100 on the truck.
Come back?
About 100 on the truck.
You got 100 lights on there?
All inside and outside.
All right, looking good. What's the bumper lights and the other lights there? What brand of lights are those?
All Green General.
10-4. So how many weeks are you out on the road a month?
Every week. Almost every week we're on the road, yeah.
So I'm going to switch it up to a different question. Nowadays we can turn on the old YouTubes and social media, and we can see a lot of guys out there, that are trucking, that are making, trucking content and things like that. So, besides big rig videos, what other trucking content do you watch?
There's a guy in Alberta, he's rebuilding trucks and twin stick garage, and it's those kind of stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, who else you watching?
Not a big guy on YouTube and social media, so.
It sounds like you've spent a lot of your time in the old shed working on trucks there, right?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
You know what? That's probably why your truck looks the way it looks and runs the way it runs. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Outside of van and flatbed, have you pulled anything else?
Hardwood lumber, and that's all. Mostly, we all cedar shingles and hardwood. only coming from Florida with a dry box because the load's coming back home. But usually it's always flatbed.
10-4. So where do you think you're going to get coming back home or going back home?
Probably going to get some paper rolls.
So I'm going to point the camera up there at that passenger window, and I believe you got your girlfriend running with you. She can poke her head to the window if she wants to, wave. But what is it like running with a girlfriend there, and vice versa?
It's cool. I like it. It's different. It's easier to talk to, and it's fun. I like it.
How often does she run with you?
Your first load with me.
Oh wait, hold on. This is her first trip, it sounds like, and she comes out here on the old, blacktop, and she scores a video and an interview.
And that's it.
I tell you what, she's your lucky charm, man. I hope she and you guys stay together for a long time, especially if you're getting luck like that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get this next exit to get back to the chrome shop. Well, Corey, as we slide back in here to the chrome shop and get parked and everything, it was fun to spend some time out on the highway and see that old girl run down the road. I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It was fun and nice seeing you, and appreciate it.
Yes, sir.